Good morning, everyone. It's another beautiful sunny day, a little bit after 10 in the morning. It's a Friday here, which would be Black Friday. But hey, those of you in the States that are in the Eastern States, 14 hours behind, and in the Western States, 17 hours behind, and those in Hawaii, 19 hours behind. Happy Thanksgiving. I hope you managed to enjoy all the cooking and all the eating and all the spending time with whoever you are, social distancing. It's tough this year, huh? I know I enjoyed yesterday while the kids were at school, and those two little sleeping beauties were rascaling around the kitchen. I managed somehow to got some smoked chicken that was already smoked, so it was ready to eat. It was really nicely sliced and it looked like turkey, so I got it. I was like, that's the closest I can get to turkey in this country, so in Japan. So I got that and I cooked it anyway, so with 2 more chicken legs that we had previously in the freezer, and baked them really well too. So that was our turkey chicken meat, and didn't have cranberries this year, so we got blueberry jam instead. That worked. It has the sweetness and a little bit of sourness as well, but mostly sweetness. Wow, there are lots of spider webs we're catching in the air. So we had, corn, mashed potatoes. Googled up some gravy, how to make it from scratch, and I made chicken, of course, chicken gravy, because that's all I got. I got lots of chicken and kept the soup, the stock. So, and it sounded really simple and yummy, but I added some cheese and I melted some cheese inside, so my kids loved it. Even the babies loved it with some rice. It became like soggy rice with, that was really yummy. They ate it even this morning, the leftovers. Then we made some pies. We made 2 pies, pumpkin and apple. My middle guy from the older 3, he doesn't like any of it. Like, he just ate the ice cream part and then I ate his pie part. So he doesn't like cooked apples. And I think only my oldest, he could enjoy both, and with vanilla ice cream. And it was just really fun. I enjoyed cooking. Like, my oldest boy, it's like uphill here, so it's my uphill road. So I have to kind of like catch my breath. But my oldest came home from school yesterday, because Thursdays are really packed for him. He comes like at almost 5. So he came home and it smelled already like cooked chicken, and it was just really good smell in the kitchen. And so he came home, he looked at what I was doing in the middle of, and he just came and gave me a big hug because he loves yummy food and like special occasions and things like that. So I was really touched. Like, the simple joys, of life, like a hug of thank you, mommy, for cooking this yummy meal. So, and he's the one that always jumps in to help me, but he helped me a lot by doing his homework and finishing it up on time before dinner. And yeah, so that made my day more special. And I'm sure you will also enjoy your Thanksgiving, whatever you are at that time of the year. I'm not American. I never was raised with that tradition, but I really like it. I really like the spirit of gratefulness, and to have a day or the week before, like we had this year as a challenge, where you can sit down and just a little bit reflect on what you're grateful for. And there are, of course, a lot of things we're grateful for, regardless of what we're going through, because life serves you sometimes things that you're like, what? But I have to tell you guys, this week of challenge to flood the social media with give thanks, hashtag give thanks, and then list the things that you're grateful for. I've seen lots of friends, grateful for their families, their kids, and their loved ones, and being able to still have a job and in this pandemic and things like that. But then there are also like people who realize the little things, like grateful for hugs, grateful for their body, because let's have it. I'm grateful also to have my body and to be able to walk out in this beautiful nature and be able to assist my kids and see them growing and being able to run. I told you earlier, I don't know if I told you in a previous video, but there was sometimes elementary schools invite special guests, and then they invite the community members or parents and grandparents who can come to attend as well. It's usually in the gym, and because they have a stage there and they can set up things if they have projectors and PowerPoints. And so in this case, last week there was a guy who is a candidate for Paralympics. I don't know if I mentioned that in another video, but anyways, I'll share anyways. He had some kind of very rare cancer. I didn't understand anything he was saying because it was in Japanese, but my husband afterwards explained to me a little bit. So he was working in the food industry in a different prefecture, and he got this really rare cancer on one of his legs, the muscle, and so he had to be amputated, and not all the way up, but like there's still a little bit up, but not much. So when he came, he was walking like a normal person and next to his wife, and I was like, what is wrong with this guy? Like, he looks completely fine. And then he had those pants that people use in shows about you just rip the pants off or like take them off somehow, and then you see one of his legs is metal, like one of those legs that they use for support. And he had like shorts because he is now training professionally for kayaking. It's a canoe. And so his wife was interested in that, so he wanted to give it a try. And he was explaining how the moment he woke up after the amputation, it was like completely different world for him, and how he had to go through his brain had to go through accepting the fact that there is no leg there anymore, and he had to learn how to balance his body in completely different level now. So everything was new, like he had to learn a lot of things anew. And so even with the canoe, he said it's a challenge sometimes, because when you have both legs, it's easy to row on both sides very fast because you have the sure balance of both legs. But when it's only one, you have to learn to balance on one side a little bit more on the other, and it's hard. But he is not giving up, and he has really high speed, like he speeds, and he had a PowerPoint with pictures and videos of him canoeing, and he had a camera behind his back so he can see how he's balancing his body to keep the speed up. And he also had videos from the side so you can see how fast the canoe moves. So that's amazing. He brought the canoe too, so the kids could go and see it and touch it, and it had really sharp ends because it has to cut through the air in the water. So it was really, really fun to enjoy. But I was reminded once again how grateful I am for my body, and anything can happen to you at any time, anywhere. So please take the time to be grateful for your beautiful body, for who you are, with all the imperfections in it, and just be grateful for it. And so Anyways, I was thinking about today, and this morning I was thinking about what is the opposite of being grateful. And honestly, there are a few words that come to mind. Being ungrateful, of course, is one of them. But how can you be ungrateful? It's when you center on the self, when you center on the self and not on the others, and when you start working towards your selfish desires. That means you kind of don't really care what the others will think. And I think as parents, sometimes as a mom, honestly, when I get tired, I just think of ways how to get my babies tired so they can fall asleep quickly, so that I can sit down and rest a little bit. And that's selfish, right? I mean, I think so. I don't know. Because yeah, sometimes I wonder how can I make them tired in the evening so quickly, so that when we go home or when we're at home, they can, after bath, just collapse and fall asleep, so I can have more time reading something or talking to my family through my phone, texting and or video chatting and video talking. So anyway, so just, yeah. So also I was thinking about the word hypocritic, how as parents sometimes we demand so much of our kids to, say sorry because you have to, and then they mumble something and you're like, say like you mean it, and then they mumble something more, and then just at that moment they already hate it. They already hate the word say sorry, and they just don't want to do it. Like, the more you push them, the more they don't want to do it. And then how come we demand so many of those things of them, and then we as an adult, we don't do it. I just, there are so many things that I catch myself not doing, and then I demand it from my kids, and I'm like, this is so hypocritic. Because if I want somebody to do something, I should be the example of doing that, instead of asking them to do it and then doing my selfish, stubborn ways. And that eventually makes them think, well, how come my mom asks me to do that, but then she doesn't do it every time, and things like that. So I think that's hypocritic too, and I should work on it. And I know there are lots of us who can work on it too. And yeah, kids, they can feel when you're doing something just barely on the edge, listening, or while you're doing something else. So when you have those little moments when time stops and you just have that moment with them, just enjoy it and give your 100%, because they can feel when even at work. I remember working with kids in elementary schools. I had days when I just barely could go through the day and just be done and just grab my bags and get out of there as fast as I can. And then there were days when I was like, okay, I'm gonna go today and I'm gonna try to find those that they're bullied, that they're ignored, and just play with them and just have them feel special today. And so, the kids can feel it. They can feel when some of them are stubborn and they just shut you out, or because they're scared that their friends will make fun of them. If that weird foreigner is spending time with me, they're gonna make fun of me and things like that. But in general, like, when you sincerely look at that person and see, okay, I'm gonna give my time to you, let's do something together, then they slowly appreciate it, and you create bonds. And yeah, and I've seen teachers asking them so much, they demand so much of them, but then behind their backs and stuff, and they just talk. And that's the cycle of life, right? Because when they were kids, they were told the same thing, and their teachers were doing the same to them. So it's like never ending. But if you're one of those people who actually really cares about their kids at the workplace as a mentor or at home, they can surely feel it. They can feel it. Another thing I was thinking about this challenge with being grateful was actually a few people, including my wonderful sister. She tagged me into a picture of being grateful about sister, and she dug out somewhere a picture of us, I believe in 2001. That's like 19 years ago, and we looked like kids. We were so kids. I mean, just so cute picture of two girls hugging each other and smiling in front of the camera. And the cameras back then were no phones and like, you know, those digital cameras that they were with a touch screen. No, it was like one of those like you click and then you roll, and then it was just really, and then you have to go and develop the pictures. It was like that. So, but then somehow that camera, whoever had it, I don't remember, had like the date and the year. So that was really cute. And then she had a most recent picture of us together. When was that? 2 years ago, 3 years ago, I don't remember. And so, you know, she hasn't aged much, but I have, definitely. And I look different like throughout ages. I try different hair colors and different styles. I had like completely short hair, or I would have curly hair, or it will be pitch black hair, or it will be like almost to the blonde but not quite, because I don't like bleaching my hair and killing it. So I've had some, and she's just constant. She's like with her brown hair, you know, long to the shoulders, like she always like that. And I'm like this crazy, trying everything possible. Anyways, so I do look different every time. Not to mention the, you know, the white hair and the wrinkles and, you know, all that comes beautifully with age. So, and then there was another lady that I met in Colorado. I'm not gonna mention names or areas because I honestly don't remember. It was quite a long time ago. But when I was a missionary, because I'm a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and we go on missions, right? So I loved it. I was called to serve in Salt Lake City, Utah, on the Temple Square, the historical sites of the church. So I learned a lot about our church leaders, and it was a great experience for me. And I met lots of people, including Bulgarians, on that small square. And I had to learn a lot of scripts in English so that I can help others understand too the sites. And I had lots of companions because, you know, missionaries go 2 by 2, so that they can help each other, and then they can, if something happens, or they can testify together of the truthfulness of the gospel of Jesus Christ. So I was in the middle of the mission. They usually send you out because it's not a mission where you can go on the streets, talk to people, knock on doors, and, you know, people want to ignore you and don't answer, or they will just chase you away and say I'm not interested, not soliciting and things like that. So I went to Colorado, and which was just next door, so the flight was not that long at all, and it was just very enjoyable time and place. It was amazing to me. I really enjoyed Colorado, and the few things I remember is that it was snowing on Mother's Day, because that was the day. There are 2 times of the year you can call your home, and one was Mother's Day and the other one was Christmas time. So nowadays it's different. Missionaries they have tablets in Japan, and they can talk literally anytime when they have the Wi-Fi, when they're in church buildings. They can talk to their family anytime, all the time, because I don't know why, but it's just when I was a missionary it was different. So I remember it was snowing, and I was like, Mom, it's snowing outside, because it's high altitude and the snow tops, the mountain tops are always with snow, and it was just, I loved it. And we had this fireplace. I was electrical in our apartment, but when I go home from a long day out with the coat and the boots, I just take everything off and just go and turn that thing on and just relax in front of it for a little bit, warm up my soul. but we were blessed to have a car, so we didn't have bikes, we had a car, so it was really nice. And then it was needful because the distance between houses of people was great, and we had to attend to church buildings and take turns there. I met a lot of wonderful people, and so there was this sister who tagged me in her pictures, and she reached out to me on Facebook, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, Sister B," because my last name was started with B, but it was really hard for them to pronounce it, my Bulgarian last name, so they were like, "We'll just call you Sister B." So I was Sister B, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, Sister B, is that you?" I'm like, "Yeah, is that you?" And so she posted on her give thanks hashtag give thanks post a lot of missionary pictures that she had throughout the years, and she said it took her 5 days to compile the whole post and find all those pictures and post them on Facebook. So I looked through and I was like, that is amazing. I know some of those people, and she is just this warm sunshine person. Just, I mean, you know how when you meet people in life, some people are like a little bit stay back and calm, and they don't really speak much. Others are like too much talking, too much blah blah blah, and you just get a headache. There are all kinds of people, but she's one of those people that when she enters the room, it becomes brighter. The room becomes brighter because of her. And I remember her and her family, and I'm gonna tell you guys that brought a lot of memories in my head, and it just took me back to Colorado, and it feels really good. Like we're communicating, we're texting right now to each other, and just catching up with information of people I knew and where did they go. She said some moved, some passed away, some are going on as mission presidents in different countries, and it's just really amazing to me. And like her kids all grown up, and all the young families moved away and kids grown up, and I can't believe I remember her kids like they're now men. She has 4 boys, and it's just amazing. It fills my heart with so much warmth to meet people that I used to spend time with, and how she's talking about me like I don't remember anything, but how she's like she has fond memories, and how she came down to Temple Square in Salt Lake City to hunt me down and twice, and I don't remember that part. I really don't, but I love her. It will be such a reunion one day. It's amazing to me. It's like one day when we all see each other again, everywhere after this life is all over, it's gonna be just a grander experience. I'm sure of that. It's gonna be like so much emotion. It'll be like you cannot really talk. It'll be just like, come here, give me a hug. I missed you so much. Let's catch up, kind of thing. I don't know. It's amazing. So this challenge has given me a lot of fuel of love and good memories. So I'm grateful for that today, of good memories and good friends, and media can keep us all connected. And keep up the good work, guys. Bye.